Okay, and so you have your glycogen. And so your glycogen, and so that is also known as your animal starch, no? And so they are found mostly in the liver and in your muscles. And so as a storage form of your glucose. Okay, and so in the experiment, and so in the hydrolysis of your glycogen, and so should produce individual glucose units. No, and so should produce individual glucose units. But then, ayan, so wala yatang nag-positive sa inyo. Ayan, so nag-positive in your different tests, no? Ayan, so should be, and so theoretically, dapat in the hydrolysis, complete hydrolysis, dapat will produce you individual glucose units. And when you're going to test it using your reducing test, and so dapat magpa-positive sila. Except of course for your Siliwanox, ayan, so that Siliwanox test is a test for your ketose sugars. Okay? And so theoretically again, and so it will produce individual glucose units. And if you have your glucose units, these are reducing sugars and they should give a positive result to your reducing tests. Okay, and so take a look at this glycogen. So again, ayan, so this one is otherwise known as your animal starch, and this is found mostly in the liver as a storage material, and so in the form, I mean, yes, glycogen, and in the muscles as a source of energy. Okay, and so you have here, you have your the process of your glycogen synthesis is your glycogenesis. Okay, and so that is from your individual glucose units joined together to form your glycogen. Okay, and so let's take a look at your glycogen. Okay, and so let's take a look at your glycogenesis. Your glycogenesis, and so that is the synthesis of glycogen, and so the formation of your glycogen. Or probably, and so this is you're adding excess glucose to a pre-existing glycogen, no? And so you have there, and so let's take a look at the processes involved in your glycogenesis. And so you have number one, you have your synthesis of glucose 1-phosphate. And so from your glucose 6 phosphate. And so that is catalyzed by your enzyme phosphoglucomutase. Again, and so your glucose 6 phosphate is converted into your glucose 1 phosphate by the action of your enzyme phosphoglucomutase, no? And the reaction is reversible. Okay, and so from carbon 6 to carbon 1 and vice versa. And so that is for your number one synthesis of glucose 1, sorry. And so synthesis of glucose 1 phosphate. And the number two, you have your synthesis of UDP glucose or your uridine diphosphate glucose. And then you have your synthesis of glycogen from your uridine diphosphate glucose. And so that is it requires your glycogen synthase enzyme and your amylo or your amylo alpha, alpha 1,4 or alpha 1,6 glucosyl transferase. Okay. And so again, your glycogen synthesis requires a pre-existing glycogen or a pre-existing, yes, oligosaccharide. Okay, and so accordingly, and so the first glucosyl residue is linked in a to a protein. And so that is linked in a protein called as your glycogenin. Okay, and so you have your first glucosyl residue in your glycogen that is linked into a protein, primer protein called as glycogenin. Okay, and so you have there, and then once your oligosaccharide, and so once the glycogen consists of about 12 linked glycosyl residues, and so the glycogen chain is extended by your glycogen synthase and the branching enzyme. Ayan. So once you have what they call this 12 linked glycosyl residues in your oligosaccharide in your glycogen chain, then you can already add individual glucose units. And so that is catalyzed by your glycogen synthase and your branching enzymes, of course, for the branching. Okay, and so that is for your glycogen synthesis. Okay, and so you have your glycogenolysis. And so your lysis and so you have breakdown. Okay, and so in your glycogenolysis, and so this one is it happens during, and so it happens during uh glucose depletion, and so you have a low blood glucose levels, you know, and so this occurs when you have a uh during prolonged starvation, and so when you are starved, no, and so let's take a look at the processes involved in glycogenolysis. Okay, and so number one, that is the removal of glucose from the non-reducing ends of glycogen, and so that is done, and so by your glycogen enzyme glycogen phosphorylase, and so your glycogen phosphorylase and so uses the phosphate, inorganic phosphate, to cleave your alpha 1,4 linkages on the outer branches of your glycogen to produce glucose 1 phosphate. Okay, and so your glycogen phosphorylase stops when it comes with 4 glucose residues of a branch point. No, and so you have there. And then you have number two, your hydrolysis of your alpha 1,6 glycosidic bonds at branch points of your glycogen by your debrancher enzyme. You have there your amylo 1,6 glucosidase. And so your amylo 1,6 glucosidase, or otherwise known as your debranching enzyme, and so begins the removal of your branch points, alpha 1,6, by transferring the outer three of the four glucose residues attached to the branch point to a nearby reducing end. Okay, and so you have therefore your number two. And so, and then for your number three, that is you have your glucose 1 phosphate will enter your glycolysis. Okay, and so your glucose 1 phosphate. And so before that, of course, and so you will have a free glucose already. And so before you have your three here, the step three, and so you already have a free glucose, no? And so your glucose 1 phosphate, and so the major product of your glycogenolysis is diverted to glycolysis. Okay, and so that is diverted to glycolysis to yield, I mean, to produce to form your pyruvate, and then your pyruvate will enter your energy yielding metabolic reactions. Okay. And so again, and so your glucose 1 phosphate, and so the product of your glycogenolysis is diverted into your glycolysis, and so to generate energy. And so if that is in the muscles, then for muscle contraction. If in the liver, ayan, so you have your glucose 1 phosphate is converted to your glucose by phosphoglucomutase and glucose 6 phosphatase, which is then released in the blood. No, ayan, so that is for your glycogenolysis. Okay? Okay, and so let's take a look at the comparison between your starch and your glycogen based on the molecular structure, reaction to iodine, and reducing property. Okay, and so sorry, by the way, and so your hydrolysis of your glycogen is the same with your starch, no? And so the hydrolysis is the same with your starch. Hydrolysis of your glycogen is the same with your starch, no? And so that is for the enzymatic one. Okay, and so you have your branch, and so you have your molecular structure for your glycogen. It is branch with a straight units of 11 to 18 alpha D glucose units with a molecular weight of 200,000 to 100 million accordingly. And then your starch. And so this is linear and branch. Okay. And so this is linear and branch. And so Your reaction to iodine, your starch will give you a blue-black color. And then for your, or blue. Then for your glycogen, you have red. And then your reducing property, both of these are non-reducing sugars. Okay?